Hey, what's up? So I'm thinking about moving, and which is crazy because I've been at this place currently for about 3 years, and that's the longest I've ever lived anywhere consistently, and I'm 29. That's crazy. And thinking about moving made me think about my first year in Los Angeles, and I was like, let me talk about that. So my first year in Los Angeles was pretty crazy. So when I first moved from Orlando, they're super dope. They showed me a lot of love, supported me on my move to Los Angeles. And I had family support me. I had some family members, they were like, yo, I'm hook you up with a place, a hostel, right? A hostel is like, I guess when people travel, they have like bunk beds or something like that. It's just a place to stay, you know? And they're like, I'll hook you up with a hostel for like 22 days, which that's a weird amount of time, but whatever. And then when you get on your feet, you get on your feet. And I was like, cool. I'm down with that. So I get down to LA, and I get there in February, a month before my birthday. Cause I'm like, if you're serious about something, you're not gonna be like, I'm gonna go on to die at Thanksgiving. You're gonna do it immediately. So I was like, I'm not gonna celebrate my 25th birthday around friends and family, So I came here, and it was the worst birthday I've ever had in my life. But it doesn't matter because it was followed by like the greatest birthdays. But anyway. So I get down to LA, and I hit up the hostel, and they're like, yeah, man, like that card bounced. And I'm like, I'm not even surprised. Like, yeah, that makes sense. And, luckily a friend of mine who happened to be in LA, they were like, yo, I didn't know you in LA, let's hang out. And I'm like, cool, let's hang out. And we hung out, and I was like, yo, by the way, they're like, they were asking me, where you staying at? And I was like, I don't have a place to stay. And they was like, you can stay with me. And I was like, that's great, right? And then I stayed with them for a little bit, and probably like a month. I think like a month because I think they, I think they might have liked me. And I was like, I really just like not being homeless. So let me get out of here. So I moved to a place called Park La Brea, right? And which is a nice area. They got like security, and I paid $800 to have a roommate. And when I say roommate, I don't mean like we had the same apartment. Like he was my actual room. Like he was right there in the same room. He is my roommate for real. Right. And when she was introducing, when I went to get the apartment, by the way, we just met at the park downstairs, like in that area. She never even showed me the apartment, whatever. So we get up there, and this place, it looked like a really nice crack house. That's what it looked like. And I'm staying with this dude who is kind of a crackhead. I would say he's a crackhead, but crackheads only do crack, right? This man did every drug ever. I was like, you want to pick like 2 drugs, maybe rotate them, do it like a 2-drug Tuesday or something, bro? Like you just want to do every drug. He did every drug. And at this point, I'm like, water is the only thing I drink, and soda's bad. So to see someone that do all these drugs, I'm like, what the heck is going on? So, and this dude was like, so I lived with him. There was another guy next to us. It was a 2-bedroom, but they somehow formed into a 4-bedroom. So it was me, it was my roommate, it was there's some guy next to us who was clearly an illegal immigrant, but I didn't care because I'm like, as long as you pay your rent on time, right? And there was another guy in the hallway, illegal immigrant, which they're the best because they always pay rent on time. Because like if you don't pay rent on time, we just get kicked out the house. But then you can just, they don't pay rent on time, they're gonna get kicked out the country, right? So so I had them as roommate. Then some other dude next to us was he was on all the steroids. He was on every steroid ever. He should just randomly at night, 2:00 in the morning, he would just be punching holes in the wall. And I didn't even know that was him. Like one day I got up and I flipped out, and I was like, who's doing that? And everyone was quiet. No one said anything. And I went back to lay down, and it would happen again. And I realized it was him. And I was like, I don't even care, actually. I was like, I'm not trying to get whooped. Like he was a big dude. Anyway, then next to him was there's another black dude. And he was quiet because he was like, he was there before me, and he was like, look, everybody crazy. I'm just gonna keep to myself. So it was me, my roommate, the dude in the hallway, the dude in the other room, steroids, and the other black dude. So it was 6 of us in a 2-bedroom. They made a 4-bedroom, right? And my roommate was the craziest dude. He was the craziest dude. Like our door was like broken, right? It was like broken. and bent because he got in a fight with his boyfriend like before they got me. I was a new roommate. Him and his boyfriend used to share that room, and then like his boyfriend like jumped out the window. We were on the 6th story. His boyfriend broke his back. Whatever. I didn't learn all this till later on. But this dude, like, he kept trying to convince me that everybody's gay. He's like, everybody's a little gay. And I'm like, I'm not gay at all. Not even a little bit. He's like, you can't look at another dude and say they're attractive. I was like, yeah, I can say another dude is handsome. I have no issue with saying, I say babies are cute. I want to have sex with a baby, bruh. You know, so he was like, no, man, everybody's a little gay. But then he was like, something was wrong with him because he was like, he didn't believe in gay marriage. He's like, I don't believe in gay marriage. A marriage should be between a man or a woman. He's like, it's just weird. And I was like, anyway, it doesn't matter. He used to do stuff. He used to steal my stuff. I used to catch him, make him love to himself. One time I caught this man talking dirty to some other dude on FaceTime. And I was like, bro, I'm trying to sleep right now. And he's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, bro, you like, come on, man, you peeling your banana right here. And I'm trying to sleep. And he was like, no, I'm not. I don't know what you're talking about. And it's like, it's still in your hand. You know, it was really weird. But he used to do stuff all the time. And at that time, I started going to like the LA Fitness. And I went up there and I was like, hey, can I work there? So I started working there. And I would work usually from 9 to 6. That was my 9 to 6. But sometimes it'd be 9 to 9. Sometimes it'd be 6 to 6. Sometimes it'd be 6 to 9. You know what I mean? Like, it was just because I was a fitness counselor, right? Where I signed people up for training, which is a really nice name for signing people up for training. Like, people thought I was a trainer, but I really wasn't a trainer. I would sign people up for training, and to get them more incentive to sign up, I would be like, I'll train you on this day for free, you know? And so sometimes, like one time, right, I was sleeping and I came back from an open mic where I didn't get on stage and I had to walk almost an hour home, and I was upset. And this dude comes in drunk, high, and he's on the phone, and I'm like, hey man, could you be quiet? I'm trying to sleep. And he keeps talking, right? Keeps talking. And I'm like, hey man, like I'm trying to sleep. Please be quiet, right? And he just starts to keep talking to whoever he's talking on the phone. Man, I don't like this dude tripping. You know what I mean? Like, he over here telling me to be quiet. He ain't even talking to me. He's not even talking to me. He's talking to the guy on the phone. And this dude right here, and then I get mad and I flip out. I'm like, yo, man, you stole money from me. My lunch is this and that. I'm flipping out. And then I'm trying to sleep, and then you won't even let me sleep, man. He's like, what are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do? And I was like, what am I do? So I went over and I slammed him, and I was trying to choke him out. I was trying to put him in a guillotine, but I didn't know how to do a guillotine. I just went off of what I seen on like YouTube videos. So I was trying to choke him out, and then I couldn't choke. He was breathing fine. It almost seemed like he was liking it. So I was like, this is a bad idea. So I put him on my shoulder and I just threw him outside the house, right? And when I threw him outside the house, he started banging on the door and cussing, whatever, and the cops came immediately. It was almost like the cops were living next door to us, and then they were out like, hey, I heard some knocking down the hallway from us. they came so fast. And then, the cops started interviewing him like, yo, what happened? Why are you banging on the door and this and that? And then he's like, yeah, man, this dude freaking on steroids. And I was probably like 15 pounds heavier because I was working at the gym. All I did was work out. And so he goes on steroids and he threw me out. And then the cop comes in and he goes, hey, what happened? Right? What's going on? He's saying he threw him out. And I was like, okay, well, if I tell them that I grabbed them first, then they're going to put me in jail. So I was like, oh, okay, well, he came home drunk and he hit me. A lot, okay? Because I'm not going to jail, bruh. He clearly smells like alcohol. He was clearly high. I'm not going to jail for this idiot not letting me sleep. So I was like, oh, this dude hit me, and I didn't hit him because I didn't hit him. I did not hit him. I didn't hit him. I just threw him. I was like, man, I just took him and I threw him out. And the cop goes, all right. So he goes back outside, Cop goes outside and is like, hey, so he's saying that you hit him. And then he starts flipping out. I didn't hit him. I don't know. And he starts flipping out, and I'm trying so hard not to laugh. I'm like dying, right? Yeah, I'm dying. And then he goes, well, listen, the cop's like, listen, man, listen. I think it's a white dude and a Hispanic dude, I think. And the white dude's like, yo, man, listen, you guys can just like chop it up, and then it just, you just go to bed, or both of y'all can go to jail. And then my roommate goes, well, I guess we going to jail. And then I stopped laughing, like immediately. I don't think it was a transition from like, wait a second. It was like, what? Because I was like, why would you want to go to, like, I got scared because I was like, bro, I've never been to jail. I've never broken the law. I've never done, you know what I mean? So I'm going to jail for the first time. I just came down here to do comedy. I just want to sleep. I got to wake up in 3 hours, like to train somebody that's for free and da-da-da, so I was just like flipping out. And then the cop was like, I couldn't see his face, but in his voice, he was like, what? You want to go to, he's like, you want to go to jail? And then and then I think my roommate started realizing how dumb it was, and he calmed down. And he was like, and the cop was like, how about you just press charge? You can like do an investigation and maybe press charge later on, And then he was like, all right. And then, so I don't remember how he came back in, but I remember opening the door, and then he came back in, and he was like messing with the knives. I hit up the only black dude that I was staying with, and he was like, you can stay in my room, because he wasn't there. So I stayed in his little room, which was, they had like, it was like, I don't know, they put drywall up, the way they made it, doesn't matter. So the guy was flipping out, calling me all kind of names, saying he was gonna murder me. I heard him messing with the knives, so I left, right? I was like, I'm not about to die. So I left. I hit my manager up at the time, at LA Fitness, and I was like, hey man, can I stay with you? This happened. He's like, of course you can stay with me. I told you, man, anytime you need a place, I got you. I was like, cool. So I go over and I stay with them. This man stays in an old office building, right? And because LA is packed. So it's like, they're running out of places. So they made an office building, an apartment complex. So this man don't got no bathroom. It's just an office with a bed in it, and I'm sleeping squeezed in there. Anyway, so I wasn't complaining. I was like, I just need a floor. A floor is cool. I have an air mattress at the house, so I was like, I'm cool with it. I stayed with him. The next morning, right? I go back to the house, and it's an eviction, right? It's an eviction, or it's a note or whatever, and it's like, it was pretty much saying that no one's supposed to be here, right? So the people we were paying for rent, that girl who I met in the park, that wasn't her place. So we were just giving her money for her. We were subleasing like a place that wasn't hers. So she was like, she was just taking money from us. So that felt kind of, I was just like, all right, because it said you got to leave by today or you're going to jail. And I was like, all right. So I took all my stuff and I put it in my job, the janitor's closet at LA Fitness, right? All my stuff. And then the guy, my manager I was staying with, he was like, hey man, I'm having a girl over, so you can't stay with me. I was like, all right, fine. So there was a girl I was talking to at the time, and she was like, yo, if you ever need a place to stay, you can stay with me. And I was like, I'm a prideful dude. I'm a really prideful dude. It took a lot for me to ask my manager, and it just, I don't like asking for anything. Like the whole time I was out there, I never asked. I think I can think on maybe a couple occasions where I asked my mom and my brother for money, but I never asked and that's when I was struggling, when I had no other way. So I'm really prideful dude. So I was like, all right, cause she ain't my girlfriend. We just talking. So she was like, we were cool. And she was like, if you need a place to stay, I got you. So I was like, hey, remember that time you said if I need a place to stay, I need a place to stay. And then she's like, oh yeah, for sure. And so I start bringing up my stuff. I bring up like in trash bags, right? I'm bringing up the trash bags. And then she's like looking around like, that's some stuff right there. And she was like, how long you plan on staying? And I was like, I don't know. I just, I just plan on staying. Anyway, so this girl I was staying with, she can't really sleep in the same bed with someone if she's like, unless she's used to it. like she's used to that person. I guess she wasn't like fully used to me. So I slept in her living room on my air mattress. The next day, because I met her at the gym. Next day, she's on like the elliptical or something like that, and I'll go over to give her like some money. Like, here's, I was gonna give this to I was gonna give it to the person I was staying with last time, but I'm not staying with them. Here's the money. And then she was like, hey, don't give me, I don't want the money. I couldn't sleep because your air mattress was too loud. Do you have another place to stay? And I was like, oh, absolutely. No, I don't. I don't have another place to stay. But everyone I keep hitting up that tells me, hey, you can have a place to stay. If you need a place to stay, I got you. They're changing their minds. She was like, hey, you got another place to stay? And I was like, yeah, I got another place to stay. Right? And it's like, in her defense, like, she was doing a project. She needed her sleep. So like, and I'm not her boyfriend. So it's like, I get it. But I didn't have a place to stay. So I take my stuff, and I'm a prideful dude. Like, if someone doesn't want me to stay with them, I don't want to stay with them. So I take all my stuff, I put it in like the back of the elephant, and then I don't have a place. I'm like homeless, right? And so I'm like, okay, I'm searching. I find a place on Craigslist. And it's a business. It's not like, but it's the only thing I can afford. I couldn't afford like an actual room because I'm just whatever. So the place is like a nail salon, massage place, whatever. But they're like, you can't. It's not for resident. It's for commercial, and you can be there from 9 to 5. And I was like, okay. They gave me a key, so I'm just gonna sleep there, and I'll be up before 9 o'clock. I'll be good. I didn't wake up in enough time. So I slept past 9, and then someone else came in here to do nails or whatever. I don't know, give some guy a massage. So I'm sleeping on the massage thing in the back. No, it's like no room. I'm in the closet with the massage thing, right? And they're trying to get in, and I was like, I'm just gonna stay in here and chill till they just realize that the door is locked, and maybe they'll stop trying. And then they kept trying. And I was like, all right, let me go ahead and leave. It's already gonna look bad. Some black dude just walking out. So I left. When I walked out, she was like, oh, hey, because she would have expected me to be there. And then the guy that she was about to give a massage or doing his nails or whatever, he was just like looking at me super evil. Whatever. So the person that I gave the deposit to and all this stuff, she hit me up and was like, hey, I heard that you were sleeping there, so you got to go. So I'll give you your deposit back. You come and give, and give me the key back as soon as possible. So I went and did that, and then I didn't have a place to stay. Again, I didn't have a place to stay. So, and then I didn't sleep on the street, because anytime, I don't know if you've ever slept on the street, but there's always something crawling on you, and if something's not crawling on you, you think something's crawling on you, right? So I was just chilling, and then I meet someone. I already knew him, but like I ended up staying with the client that I was training, and which is a friend of mine. They're still a friend to this day because they always looked out for me. So I ended up staying with them for like maybe a little bit, and then I end up finding another place on Craigslist. Right, I found another place, and this is why I'm doing stand up. I'm going on like Kill Tony. Shout out to Kill Tony. It's one of the #1 live podcasts in the world. They show me so much love. But this is like all this. I'm still doing stand up, and no one knows what this is going on because I'm like, I don't know. It's a lot going on. Right. So I find a place to stay on Craigslist, and I end up staying with this dude. I forgot his name, Johnny something. I forgot his last name. And he ends up being the guy on the highest rated episode of Almost Got Away With It. So I don't know if you ever seen Almost Got Away With It. It's like when people rob banks or do things. This man shot his cousin in the face and went to jail for like 10 years for bootlegging movies or something like that. Anyway, him shooting his cousin in his face is what stood out to me, because I'm like, how you gonna shoot your cousin? He's your family. So I'm gonna really make sure I have rent on time. So I'm trying to remember his last name, but you can just Google him. So I ended up staying at this man's place because it was a good deal, and he was actually pretty chill. Like, he was really chill. He was real nice. He owes me money, but whatever. He was a really nice dude. And yeah, that was my first year. And then like, I think at the end of the year, I moved, I moved like again, and then whatever. That was my first year though. So man, 20 minutes. It's 20 minutes right now. All right. So sorry, that was just so long, but my first year was like crazy. It was so weird. I mean, and the crazy thing is I left so many parts out. There's so many other things that like happened, but I know some attention spans aren't there right now. So I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, that was my first year in LA, and looking forward to moving again. All right, love y'all.